ओम सर्वमंगलमांगल्यं वरेण्यं वरदं शुभं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य सर्वकर्माणि कारयेत्। ओम विष्णु, ओम विष्णु, ओम विष्णु। ओम तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ओम पवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थां गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं स बाह्याभ्यन्तरः शुचिः। ऐं गुरुभ्यो नमः, ऐं परमगुरुभ्यो नमः, ऐं परापरगुरुभ्यो नमः, ऐं परमेष्ठिगुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम गं गणेशाय नमः। ओम ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ओम भूतशङ्गाकाक्षसज्जीवशिवं सुषुम्नापथेन परमशिवपदे योजयामि स्वाहा। ओम यं लिङ्गशरीरं शोषय स्वाहा। ओम रं संकोच शरीरं दह स्वाहा। ओम परमशिवं सुषुम्नापथेन मूलशृङ्गाटमुल्लसोल्लस ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल सोऽहम् हम सह स्वाहा। आं हों फट् स्वाहा। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं वं शं शं सं हो हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः प्राणा इह प्राणाः। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं वं शं शं सं हो हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः जीवैः स्थितः। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं वं शं शं सं हो हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि। आं ह्रीं क्रों यं रं वं शं शं सं हो हं सः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः वाङ्मनश्चक्षुत्वक्श्रोत्रघ्राणप्राण इहागत्य सुखं चिरं तिष्ठन्तु स्वाहा। ओम ऐं एते गन्धपुष्पे गुरुवादि समस्त पूजनीय देवेभ्यो नमः। ओम ह्रीं पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। ओम ह्रीं पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ओम ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। इत्यस्य मंत्रस्य ब्रह्मर्षि गायत्री छन्दः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपः श्रीरामकृष्णो देवता ऋष्यादिन्यासे विनियोगः। ओम ब्रह्मणे ऋषये नमः। ओम गायत्री छन्दसे नमः। ओम ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ऐं उष्ठाभ्यां हिमयान्तर्निभ्यां स्वाहा। मम मध्यमाभ्यां वषट् प्रीम्याङ्काभ्यां हों कनिष्ठाभ्यां वषट्। ऐं रामकृष्णकरतलपृष्ठाभ्यामस्ताय फट्। ऐं हृदयाय नमः शीर्षे स्वाहा। मम शिखायै वषट्। ऐं कवचाय वषट्। ऐं रामकृष्णकरतलपृष्ठाभ्यामस्ताय फट्। ओम ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ हृदयकमलमध्ये राजितं निर्विकल्पं सदसदखिलभेदातीतमेकस्वरूपं प्रकृतिविकृतिशून्यं नित्यमानन्दमूर्तिं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। निरुपममतिसूक्ष्मं निष्प्रपञ्चं निरीहं गगनसदृशमीशं सर्वभूताधिवासं त्रिगुणरहितसच्चित् ब्रह्मरूपं वरेण्यं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। वितरितुमवतीर्णं ज्ञानभक्तिप्रशान्ति प्रमोदलितचित्तं जीवदुःखासहिष्णु धृतसहजसमाधिं चिन्मयं कोमलाङ्गं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। ॐ हृत्पद्मासनं दद्यात् सहस्रारोच्युतामृतैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्त्वर्घ्यं निवेदयेत् तेनामृतेनाचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धस्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकं चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधाम्बुधिः अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च कामनं सहस्रारं रविच्छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकं नृत्यमेन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तथा सुमेखलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा अमायाद्यै भावपुष्पैः अर्चयेत् भावगोचरम् अमायं अनहङ्कारम् अरागम् अम्बं तथा अमोहकम् अदम्भं च अद्वेषाक्षोभकौ तथा अमात्सर्यम् अलोभं च दशपुष्पं विदुर्बुधा अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमेन्द्रियनिग्रह दयापुष्पं क्षमापुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् शिवम्। ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एषगन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदं सचन्दनपुष्पं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एष धूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। इदं सोपकरणनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सचन्दनपुष्पाञ्जलिः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ गुह्यातिगुह्यगोप्ता त्वं ग्रहाणमस्मत्कृतं जपं सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देव तत्प्रसादान् महेश्वर। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं एते गन्धपुष्पे सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपिण्यै श्रीशारदादेव्यै नमः। ॐ एते गन्धपुष्पे श्रीमद्विवेकानन्दाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एषसचन्दन पुष्पगुल्बपत्राञ्जलिः साङ्गाय सावर्णाय सशक्तिकाय सपार्षदाय सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हि या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहं। परतत्त्वे सदा लीनो रामकृष्णसमाज्ञया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो वीरेशं तं नमाम्यहम्। So now let us have the Arati singing. Om Etasya Nirajan Deepamalaye Namaha. Om Etaduktaye Devaya Vishnave Namaha. Om Etasampradhanaya. Om Aim Sarvadevadevi Swarupaya Shri Ramakrishnaye Namaha. Om Isha Nirajana Deepamala. Om Aim Sarvadevadevi Swarupaya Shri Ramakrishnaye Namaha. Bhakta
জগত কারণ প্রাণার্পণ জগত কারণ চিন্তন করিত বন্ধন কাম কাঞ্চন অতি নিন্দিত ত্যাগীশ্বর ত্যাগীশ্বর নরবর দেহ পদে অনুরাগ নির্ভয় সংশয় নিশ্চয় মানসবান নিষ্কারণ ভকত শরণ নিষ্কারণ ভকত শরণ চাপি তুলবান সম্পদ তব শ্রীপদ ভব পুষ্পদ বারিচ সমদর্শন শ্রীমার্পণ সমদর্শন জগ জন দুঃখ যায় প্রেমার্পণ সমদর্শন প্রেমার্পণ সমদর্শন জগ জন দুঃখ যায় নমো নমো প্রভু বাক্য নমামিত নমো নমো প্রভু বাক্য নমামিত মম বচনৈ কাহায় প্রভু মম বচনৈ কাহায় জ্যোতির জ্যোতির জয় দিগন্তর জ্যোতির জ্যোতির জয় দিগন্তর তুমি তম ভঞ্জন প্রভু তুমি তম ভঞ্জন নমো নমো প্রভু বাক্য মনাপিত নমো নমো প্রভু বাক্য মনাপিত মন বচনৈ কাহায় প্রভু মন বচনৈ কাহায় জ্যোতির জ্যোতির জয় দিগন্তর জ্যোতির জ্যোতির জয় দিগন্তর তুমি তম ভঞ্জন প্রভু তুমি তম ভঞ্জন রঙ্গ রঙ্গ ভঙ্গ পাজে অমৃত রঙ্গ রঙ্গ ভঙ্গ পাজে অমৃত গাইতে ছন্দ ভক্ত বৃন্দ আরতি তোমার গাইতে ছন্দ ভক্ত বৃন্দ আরতি তোমার জয় জয় আরতি তোমার হর হর আরতি তোমার শিব শিব আরতি তোমার বন্ধন জগবন্ধন বন্দিত জয় শ্রী গুরু মহারাজ কি জয়।
जय श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद की जय। जय श्री स्वामी अभेदानंद की जय। Today being the birthday of Swami Vedanta according to lunar calendar. So let us begin with salutations to Lord Krishna and to the Mother Bhagavad Gita. Vande Vanshidharam Krishnam Smayamanam Mukhambujam Pitambaradharam Neelam Malyachandanam Bhushitam Radha Chittachapurendu Saundarya Sumahodadhi Parat Parataram Devam Brahma कृपानिधि। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणी। The chapter today that we are taking up, actually one section of that chapter, and that is theory and practice. This is a matter that is discussed in all Vedanta books, in the lives of all great sages, incarnations like Sri Ramakrishna. And this is something that is very important, let alone this spiritual life. Even in the worldly matters, we always need to combine the theory and practice. Theory and practice cannot be studied, separately. They have to be combined. That is, what we understand theoretically, we should be able to practically implement it. That is the theory and practice. Because practice involves a lot of difficulties. Things are very easy in a way at the theoretical level. To draw a map of the building, drawings, the architectural, conceptual drawings, that is easy, comparatively speaking. But then to actually build that edifice is a bit difficult job, quite a difficult job. For this construction, the architect took about 2 months to develop all the design and drawing and all that, and charged close to $200,000. The actual construction in brick and mortar and steel and lumber took about over a year and a half, and took over 2 millions. So you can imagine, and so much hard work goes when you want to practically implement something. To understand, simple things that we understand easily. Isn't it Advaita that I should get up early in the morning? Understanding is very fine. Implementation, is it so easy? No, one has to practice, and practice according to the proper guidance, proper planning, and all that. So, without being practical, the theory doesn't have much meaning also. How true a theory is tested only by practice. Whether it can be demonstrated in life or not, then that theory can be considered valid. So, this is a point that gets discussed in Bhagavad Gita in, really speaking, every chapter. But a second chapter, it becomes very important because lot of theory is discussed about the nature of this self. It is transcendent over birth and death. It is beyond comprehension of speech and mind. It is all pervading and so forth. It is discussed threadbare. And one gets an impression, or let us say, two alternate impressions that one gets. One is, it is so nice, I understood it, I got it. One gets that kind of a false satisfaction also. Oh, I have understood Gita very well. I read that we are water cannot wet me, sword cannot pierce me, fire cannot burn me. I know all that is in Bhagavad Gita. And then we feel, oh, what is there? I understood everything. No, dear, you have understood only a very small part of it. What about practice? One may come to this funny idea then, that practice, what does it mean? It is not necessary to practice it. Practical life is different and theoretical ideal life is different. And then you have nice quotes from various great philosophers that there is no perfection in this relative world. You can quote from Aristotle or whosoever, that here you have, it is only in the world of perfect forms that you can have, perfection. In practical life, there is no perfection. One can, and thus one becomes quite okay, satisfied that I know. But then you have to deal with day-to-day situations which could be heart-rending and which would be very difficult to combat with, deal with. And our mind gets torn between the different pulls that it experiences. We all experience that. Should I do this? Should I do that? And even when we go to do something, we see so many obstacles in the path. Then there are innumerable desires that keep on springing in us. And we think that this is the right desire that I must follow. But then after a little while we feel, no, that is not the desire that I want to follow. I would go to another path, like that. So you can see what happens is when you decide to go by one path, you make kind of a commitment. You invest something in it, that this is what I want to do in life. So, and then your mind changes. Now that investment is gone. You cannot get it back. That is gone. Then you again work hard to put something in the new kind of desires, fulfilling new desires. That also doesn't get fulfilled. In the sense, you lose interest in it. That is, you feel that's not my real desire. And the life gets vacillated like that in 1,000 ways. Even day to day we experience this, that in the morning what I feel as my desire and goal of life, in the evening you feel differently. In the morning, usually people get up if they had a good, nice, restful sleep. Then they view the world with some optimism. Very nice. It is wonderful today. Yeah, I will do this and that and all that. and the plans and Then by the late afternoon, evening, and the sun is setting, and then the sun sets on our mind also in a way, and we start feeling gloomy. This world has no hope, and there is nothing good here. People are cheats, and all that. So the ideas change. You feel you should do this, you should do that, and so if we are not practically implementing the great teachings, then you may say that I have understood Bhagavad Gita, but the expected result of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and what is that? Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta. That is how Arjuna declares. The result of reading Bhagavad Gita should have been that my delusion is gone. Now I have understood that what I should be doing. Karishye vachanam tava. I will now abide by what you are telling me. So this should have been the result. But that doesn't happen in our life because the theory stage where in the brain, the life, it doesn't come down into our day-to-day living. And therefore, we feel kind of, very intellectual giant, but then practically fools. So here comes therefore the important question about what is understood is to be practiced also. Vedanta has always been very, very practical. But because of our attachments, attractions, compulsions, and a perception that this is so weird and strange that the teachings are, even when they are intellectually appreciated, they are seen to be impractical. That it is all true, understood. But how do we deal with this in our daily situations? A real life situation. It is what we call as real life situation. How to deal with it? So, therefore, we make a division that this is spiritual and this is secular, religious and secular. Let us keep them separate. But we cannot actually divide our minds like that. So, if something is true, it should be true. Whether it is spiritual and secular, that division should not be there. So therefore, this idea has to be kicked out. Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita is a great text of Vedanta, that it is basically practical. All that is discussed here is for the purpose of implementation, and the implementation is possible. Just we want to make it possible, that's all. And we should tell ourselves, yes, it is possible and I am going to do it. I have done many difficult things in life. I have done masters and PhD. I had been a great, at my job, I was always credited to find solutions to difficult problems, and I can do that. This is much simpler to implement these great spiritual ideas is not that difficult as we think. The only difficulty that is here is we do not want to make it practical. It is the wanting from the bottom of the heart is what is necessary. So first we see this theory that is told that is akin to diagnosis, if you are not well, you go to the doctor and then doctor makes an examination. Okay, puts the stethoscope, this, that, then takes your blood pressure and then maybe makes you go to a lab, clinical lab and get some tests done. So this is all what? Diagnostic process. This is not going to bring you any cure as such in itself. Sometimes one in our dispensary, sometimes very ignorant people, illiterate people used to come, and then one lady was telling, "Oh, my cough has not gone at all, not subsided at all, even after I got my X-ray done." Now, X-ray doesn't cure you. X-ray can only tell that what is the problem. It could do that much. But then the treatment has to follow it. Then it may cure. So diagnostic is necessary. Without that, there is no cure as such, because we don't know what to do, what medication to give, what remedy to apply. We don't know till the diagnosis is done. So therefore sometimes it is called diagnosis. Right diagnosis is half the cure. Both things have to be remembered here. It is cure, but only half the cure. It is half the cure. If not acted upon, it is no cure at all. It is only direction, that if you have the direction how to go, half the job is done. Provided you are going to drive, only looking at the directions doesn't take you anywhere. So that directions are necessary, theory is necessary, understanding is very necessary. So first Lord does that. And when Arjuna presented his case, Shri Krishna takes it up. He was understanding everything. He is God, he understands even without telling. But what is this telling? Because God is not there to force you a solution. You have to ask for it. It is there, but you have to ask for it. I want to get cured of this problem. And God says, then okay, if you want to, then I can give you. Otherwise, God gives you freedom. If you don't want, okay. If you do not want to practice religion, fine. I do not get worried about it. It is, I don't accept you. I'm not going to worship you. God doesn't get affected by that, whether you do worship or you don't do worship. So, therefore, God, Shri Krishna was waiting till Arjuna submitted that I am your disciple, surrendering at your feet, for please take me out of this terrible situation that I am stuck in. Then Sri Krishna presents first the diagnosis. That what diagnosis? A diagnosis has layers. That first you see what the problem is, then what is the cause of that problem, and then go further deep, what is the cause of that also. So thus you can see Sri Krishna say that Arjuna is in despondency. What is the cause of this despondency? That cause is to be found out to get an effective cure. So what was the cause? Sri Krishna says that the cause was Arjuna's attachment to various things in the world. He is not free. Attachment means you are tied down. Now, because of this getting tied down, he was not free. And when we are not free, we don't feel happy. Being bound, we don't feel happy. We all seek freedom. So, Arjuna, because of those attachments, and what happens, these attachments again, bondage. They tie you down, they bind you, and then they just keep on kicking you around. They just drag you here, there, everywhere, whatever you are tied to, that it is like a mother tied to, say, children. Mothers are very tied to their children. So what happens? Whatever the children demand, the mind always keeps on going in that direction. And cannot satisfy the children, cannot satisfy herself. That is the effect of bondage. That she is always bound by this thought and concerns and wants to keep on telling the child, do this and do that and do that. The child doesn't care and doesn't need any more. But the mother cannot stop getting involved and trying to tell. Even if she understands, she cannot, because she is so bound and it torments her. So this is just an example. With all this, we get tied and therefore we are subjected to a lot of suffering and pain. So attachment is the cause of it. But why do the attachments come? Attachments come because of our attractions and repulsions in the world. We all experience that you get attracted to certain object and then get caught by it. Or you run away from some other object and still that running away catches you. See, if I want to run away from somebody, what happens? I still am the slave. Suppose if, say, somebody is running after me, that it is, Deepak says, okay, let me run and catch this Swami. Or let me run away from this Swami. Either towards or away. Both are bondages. Because it depends on the object. That Deepak, let me catch hold of Swami means running towards this Swami. Running away from Swami again depends on where Swami goes, isn't it? If Swami is going in this direction, I have to go in the opposite direction. I lose my freedom either way. Do you get it, Arohi? This is therefore called by Patanjali as the Klesha. Patanjali, the greatest psychologist that humankind has produced. That Patanjali says, and his is not abnormal psychology, his is supernormal psychology. It is because what the psychotherapists deal with naturally, the abnormal psychology. It is therapy after all. When do you go to a therapist? When you have some problem, when you are not normal, and then you go to a therapist. But this is not that kind of thing. This is, you are a normal human being. But the problem that you have is you actually knowingly or unknowingly want to express the divinity that is your true nature. And therefore, this happens here that when we have these attractions and repulsions in life, klesha, and the problem it becomes more pronounced or more difficult to deal with because what attracts at one time repels at another time. Do you see this? That what, Sandhya? Something that attracts you at one time. And now if it keeps on attracting, okay, fine. But it starts repelling. That very same thing becomes repulsive. You don't want it anymore. You want it and you don't want it. When it is away from you, you want it. So you go close to it. When it comes close, you don't want it. You start running away from it. So this is the human predicament. So the answer to that is, see what is the cause of it? Why Arjuna has this problem? And Arjuna again and again while reading Bhagavad Gita, we must remember that it is all being told to us. Arjuna is an excuse, that it is a nimitta, excuse. And through Arjuna the message is being given to all. All includes everybody. It is given to Rajesh, it is given to our Rajgopal, it is given to Deepak, it is given to Arohi, everybody. All have been given this message, Arjunam Nimitti Kritya. Now, why is Arjuna being caught in this attractions and repulsions which lead to attachments? When you do something repeatedly, you get attached to it, caught in it. So attachment is caused by these attractions and repulsions. And what is the cause of these attractions of repulsions? Is an erroneous, completely wrong idea about who am I and what this world is. We do not see it as one without second. We see it as I and the world. I and the world. And then I start either running towards the world or away from the world. In both cases, I and the world, this subject-object division is there. Do you agree? Do you understand this subject-object division, I and the world? And this is a big, big error. You cannot really define where I end and the world begins. Try to think where I ends and world begins, Arohi. See, this is, I thought that nail was part of I. But then I clipped it this morning, then is it I? That clipped nail, do I call it I? Hey, it is gone into trash. So it is like that. Is it I? And everything that we do is based on this fundamental error. It is no wonder at all that we are caught into problems. Because the very basis of all that we do is this tremendous error, I and the world. And so, this being the diagnosis, this being the problem, now the remedy suggests itself. Somehow one has to get rid of this erroneous division, I and the world. Hmm? Do you agree, Advaita? Huh? Is this division, I and the world, is it right or wrong? Wrong. And so the goal is to eradicate this division. Do it. Eradicate this division. So that is how Arjuna is being told that you are thinking that these bodies, the first common experience of this I and the world is looking at the body. I am this body. And these are all other bodies. And they appear to be very real. But see, the same fundamental particles, electrons, protons, which are in this body, in that body also, a different heap, that's all. That it is some potatoes are heaped like that in one place, another heap of the similar potatoes, and then they get mixed up also here and there. When I am seeing you, the particles in you, they are entering me. So there is nothing like, that my body. Do you get it? My body. Nothing like that. This is a very big error that is the basis of all problems. What, Vinay? Is it understandable?
Conceptually.
Conceptually, this is diagnosis is going on. Concept has to become clear, but then that concept has to be now practically realized. So this has been made clear to Arjuna in the early, in the second chapter. You see that so many great ideas are there that it is that look at this. This is a verse that is I think of it very often. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyati. Even what you call this life, you were a child once upon a time, that 2-month-old. Now, when you became, say, 1-year-old, did the 2-month-old die or not? Is your body? Yes, it is different now. It is not the same. Your being baby, when you became a child, the baby died. The death of baby is necessary to become a child. Otherwise you will remain a baby. When you become, say, a college student, and then this high school person has to die to go to college. Now I am in college. So the high school person is gone. So then one becomes old. I am now retired. So it is now that earlier the young fellow has died into and an old fellow has emerged there. So now similar thing is there that this chain of changes come to a stage that now you don't recognize the previous links. That is called death. And that now you have given up this body. And like there are the stages of, say, you are wearing, say, a sweater. First, its bright color starts, fading. It is getting worn out. You continue to the same sweater, then it starts, getting holes here and there. If it is sweater of really wool, the wool from the sheep, then there are the worms that eat it, It is and so the synthetic wool, that is, the worms don't eat it, nice in a way. So, but if it is real sheep wool, then the insects eat it. Once it so happened, one Swami gave me that kind of a sweater made of real wool. And then it was not necessary in the where I was staying, so I had just put it away somewhere. Then some 2-3 years or more rolled by. Then I wanted to go to Himalayas. The temperatures there are very low. And I remembered that Swami has given me that sweater. Let me take it out. And then they placed that particular box that I had put it in. I opened it to get it out. Where is it? The whole thing was eaten. Yeah. I found some small pieces here and there, that's all, it was all gone. So, things all change, go away. It is the shirt, for example, the shirt that I might have put on when I was a 10-year-old, where is it now? Gone. It is. So this body that I have put on now gets worn, torn, and has to be gone. So don't worry. We do not weep about that. Oh, I was a nice, little child. And my childhood was just gone when I become teenager. Do we weep like that? No. It is, in fact, children, they are waiting, to get the freedom of being teenager. It is, at one home I was staying in Canada there many years ago. So, 2 sisters were there. One was a little older, about 15-year-old. The other was 12 years old. So the 15-year-old was coming with us, and the younger one, mom was telling, no, you don't have to go. Why you are still a child. And she said, no, I am a pre-teen. I am a pre-teen, means I'm very eager to become a teen now, so it is, I am already a pre-teen. And then I saw so many kids, and they are so eager to become 18 years old, so that the parental, under the thumb of the parents, that goes away. I now have legal freedom. You do not cry about that. So a person becomes old, don't cry about it. A person dies, that's it, this is all a matter of, as things progress, that happens. But what doesn't go what gives the sense of continuity in all these pictures? That's this consciousness, this soul, and that doesn't get affected by any of these changes. And thus, being beyond time, it is same at all times. It is so that soul is same in all. That is another great idea that is given in the there. And while telling the theory also, the practical hints are given. Immediately after the verse that I read comes, but then what happens in this world? We have to deal with so many things. How that knowledge is going to help us? Well, therefore, the advice given is that bear with all those changes, and these changes will come in life. Just watch them, bear the effect of them. It is matra sparsha. So this verse has been such a great guiding light for me. So many changes due to climate, due to situations, and due to different that public contacts with people, they happen. That you meet this kind of person, that kind of person. Sometimes it is very cold, sometimes it is hot, sometimes your health is good, sometimes not so good. So, under all these situations, your central idea of life should be kept intact. You should not get swayed because of these things. And when we were reading in the car while we were coming here, so one important idea was being told by Swami Ranganathananji, the author of this wonderful, 3-volume treatise of Bhagavad Gita, that homeostasis, that the balance of the blood circulation temperatures that is maintained. There is a system there, because of which even one day it is cold out, it changes itself, the system changes itself to counter that. Some days it is very warm, it again accordingly changes to that. Someday you may have some infection in the body, that system therefore kicks in such a way that that infection is resisted and eliminated. That is why that when you get infection, you get fever. The fever is for that purpose, to resist and eliminate that infection. So it is, if you say that let me pull down that fever, take medication to bring down the fever, we are only shutting the outer expression of it. In fact, that is dangerous, because that is what was going to counter the disease. You bring down the fever, you feel better. But no, the disease actually is still in your body and actually growing now. So this homeostasis takes care of all those things, that so that your important features in life, they get protected by countering the other influences due to, say, weather, or due to other behaviors of the people around you, or other financial situations. So many things do come. And then we should have that homeostasis takes care of that. But he says that is not enough. It is an external aspect that the nature has given us. Homeostasis, we must do the psychostasis. Psychologically, we should respond to a situation in such a way that it will not bother us. It is somebody says, what happens, Teresa, some word, and then you become upset. Why that fellow? No, and then that fellow is gone. But this person spends 3 days in misery. Why that fellow said like this to me. Oh, let that person say. You should have the protective gear around you, like a firewall, These days the computers, they have firewall so that the virus does not get in. So, similarly, our life must have this firewall. Why people said this? Yesterday I was talking to a lady that was very upset that why this person keeps on making such remarks and all that. I told what our teachers told in a different context, I was not a very good student and was not paying always attention to what is being taught at school. So, and then when the teacher would ask question, hey, tell what is the answer? What? Because the teacher was teaching and I was not paying attention. What do you mean? Were my words just, was I blowing a pipe or what? I was talking. Means that sound has some meaning that you had to take. But when somebody is saying something which is meaningless, you can ignore it by thinking that it is just if the fellow is blowing pipe, I don't have to worry about it. It is just blowing pipe from, saying some words means what? Pipe is being blown, that's all. It is. So do not worry about it. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama paino anityans tans titikshasva bharata. Titikshasva means bear with them. Do not, get kicked around by those things. Stand firm against those, because those things come and go. It is every winter I hear from people, oh, this year's winter is terrible, terrible. Never had seen winter like this in my whole 70 years of life. Which is, since they are saying, every year they are saying this, So how could it be that such a winter I had never experienced? So same thing with summer, let the summer come and then, then we start talking about global warming. When the summer comes, we start talking about global warming. When winter comes, we may be talking about global cooling, So it is, now these are things that are, your senses are just measuring those. Matra, very beautiful word. The sparsha means those things that touch those measuring devices. Matra, the sense organs measure, like your eyes measure the intensity of light, the color, and so forth. So that is the job of the eyes. Now, that being the case, just see that, measure it, that this is blue, this is red, this is of this shape, that's it. Do not get affected psychologically by that. Matra, this is a square, that's it. And this is a somewhat, not a well-formed, definable shape. That's it. And this is, just see them that as shape, color, and that's it. Do not get affected by that. It is such a horrible sight. Why it is just see, if you do not want to get affected by it, then see it as a sight. Colors, shapes, like that. They touch, hot or cold. It is, measurement is done, how hot it is, how cold it is. Eyes, they measure the visual aspect, and sense of touch measures that touch aspect, temperatures, hard, soft, like that. So, but do not get affected by that. The ear sense, that sound, how it is soothing or harsh, loud or low, it just measures it. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya, the object of the senses and the sense, they come in contact and the sense just measures. And do not get affected psychologically with that. This is a great secret of life, friends. That, see, external situation, is it in our hands? It is not in my hands, nobody's hands. It is that the program is being arranged. We think that let us have it outdoors. But whether it will rain that day or not, do we have any control over it? We don't have any control over those things. So do not worry about that. Be prepared. So these things, the world and our sense organs, they will come in contact with each other. But do not get affected by that. Protect yourself. That's it. So it is because they come, they go. Agama painaha. The words are so beautiful, so meaningful. They are, how are those contacts? Come and go, and impermanent. So do not get affected by that. This is a very practical training that one has to implement. Like when you are, say, eating ice cream, suppose you are eating ice cream. Never eat, okay. Suppose, it is, then it is cold. It tastes cold. It tastes sweet. Register it, it is, looks like this. It has so many calories. And just let it be registered, that's all. And what happens? The ice cream is not permanently in contact with your tongue. If the contact happens, contact stops. Anitya, impermanent. Everything in this world, how it is? Impermanent. Something very nice sensation, that also goes away. Nice relationship, that also goes away. So know that these things are by nature like that. You cannot have a very happy, nice relationship all the time. Impossible, basically. Can stocks the rise all the time? It will be not a market then. If the stocks are rising all the time, it is there is no market. It is the happiness and misery, they just alternate automatically, because otherwise we will not feel happiness at all. Happiness and misery, they alternate just so that we will feel happiness. Otherwise, there is no sense. Some misery has to be there for us to compare and feel it. So, therefore, they are all impermanent. Know that and maintain your serenity, your happiness without thinking about those things. So, it is a training, it is a matter of practical implementation, friends. And we can do it. It is like we build our air conditioning system, HVAC, heating and cooling systems. Now, what does it do? Whatever temperature we like, we set it at that temperature. Suppose Molly likes 70 degrees. Now she arranges the system in such a way that if the temperatures go, outside temperatures are say 80 degrees. Now she doesn't want 80 degrees too warm. So that system kicks in to that cool the air inside. So inside it, let it be 100 degrees outside. In this room it will be 70 degrees. And then suppose the outside temperature is 20 degrees, so cold. Doesn't matter. The inside the system kicks in to make the temperature, keep the temperature at 70 degrees. So similarly, our mind also should not get swayed by these influences. This HVAC system, psycho HVAC system has to be put in there. So whatever may be the situation, your mind does not get impacted by that. Your peace and serenity does not get impacted by that. And this is a very practical advice. This is actually in a way easier to put install than the external HVAC system. In a way, because we don't have to go to different order things, get the workers, experts and all that. All that we have to do is just work internally. Know this verse, that these are all the external touch. I is coming in contact with that object. I say this, I has told me the shape, the color, and so forth. That's about it. This tongue is coming in contact with food. It tells me it is bitter or it is hot, it is sweet or sour, that it is hard or soft. That it tells me, nothing more than that. So one should learn to behave in this manner. It is once if we practice it, I guarantee you, friends, it is, I am telling from how one learns these things from practice. There is absolutely nothing too difficult or impossible about it. That practice and you will start seeing these results in your life. You will always remain serene, peaceful, happy, no matter what kind of food is given to you, no matter whether it is hot or cold. It is so helpful in life. So let us but try to work on this. So this is a very important practical lesson. And then it is told in the next verse that such people therefore will attain to some great success in life. Yam hina vyathayantyete purusham purusharshava samadukha sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. Beautiful words, very effective words, powerful and yet sweet words. The person who does not get swayed by these ups and downs, it is, you cannot be climbing up all the time. Ups will be preceded by downs. Downs will be that come after the ups. So it will be like that. A person should not internally get affected by these. And such a person, and then amritatvaya kalpate, that reaches that immortality and bliss. So it is, this is a very important idea. It again turns to theory, nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, that there is that which is comes and goes, it really never was. It is that matter that is a bit difficult to understand, that something that is, if isness is its real nature, then it will never become not is. Do you get this? If it is becoming not is, then there was really never isness to it. It was just a reflection. So, and that which doesn't exist can never become existence. So, a philosophically very important and rich verse here, that it is, you can see that something, that things come, things go. They were only appearance. They never were there. It is very difficult to appreciate this because of our attachments. It is, but Krishna is telling this at a great juncture. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na asatah bhava vidyate. That which is non-existent is always non-existent. It is, even if you are seeing it, it is not existent. Because you see it, it goes away. Like the magicians create lot of figures of magic. And they are there, they go away, they are not real. So one must absorb this teaching and then put it in practice. How to put it in practice? That one first important thing is we must work hard. It should not, any of these teachings are not to make you inactive or lethargic. And many times this misunderstandings comes in that I don't want to work. Nowadays my life has become so spiritual that I have become now, I don't work at all. That is called laziness, not being spiritual. Becoming lazy is far from being spiritual. Spiritual person is very, very active and does the activities well directed, properly focused, attentive, purposeful activity is taken up. So this is what is to be done. So the more very practical thing comes here. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva. That it is that come on, that whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, sukha dukkha, they are equal, their value as such is equal. Because the pleasure becomes pain, pain becomes pleasure. So that is, so they don't have any intrinsic value. Sukha dukkhe same kritva. An example is, at one point, as I was a very little child, eating hot chili pepper didn't give a pleasant sensation. Then now it gives me such a pleasant sensation. Now what has happened? The chili remains the same. The registering by the tongue what taste it is, that has remained the same. But the psychological response to that has changed. So therefore really there is no pleasure or pain. Some people feel pleasure, some people feel pain. Those very people at one point may not have felt the pleasure, then they are feeling pleasure. Later on they may feel the pain also. It is, I have seen what happens that a person, I know one wonderful Swami, that he used to eat hot food, but then he found that he gets a stomach problem, that there is pain and gases and whatever, something like that. So he stopped it. Now after having stopped, what has happened? That the taste, the liking for that has also gone. And now it feels very painful, that taste, because he is not used to eat it anymore. So, therefore one must see sukha dukkha same kritva, pleasure and pain, same kritva, gain and loss. Think of it as singing, sometimes you gain, sometimes you get into loss. It is a matter in all businesses, this is happening, has to happen. And victory or jaya ajaya, victory or defeat. But keep on your duty, whether any of these happen or doesn't happen. Hold on to your duty. So one must continue with one's duty, whether never even think whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, whether it is giving me, victory or defeat. Forget about those aspects. Let us hold on to what work we are doing or have been entrusted upon us. Do it. So, that is, for Arjuna it was the war, and we don't have to therefore do the war as such, but war is a very good analogy of our life. Our life means, fight, that it is so many problems come, that is, we have to put up a fight with all that situation. So, therefore, it's a very beautiful metaphor that has been presented there. And then comes the great discussion on karma yoga. That you must do the work. Don't be lazy, lethargic. Do the work. But do the work by being detached. That yoga, that verse which summarizes it, is that karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. It comes in this chapter a little later, that you have the right to work, but not to the results thereof. Do not have the craving for the results. Do the work because you have to do it. That is your duty. Do the work because the result is not in your power. It is governed by so many different factors. So do the work. That is, you have the right to do work. Karmanyeva adhikara. Your adhikara means your field of authority is only doing the work. Results they are not under your authority. That is decided by somebody else is the authority for that. And then what next thing is very interesting, that now that ma karma phala heturbhu mate sangostu akarmani, and do not become a generator of the fruit of action. This is a very interesting concept, that we do something and then we have to take the result of it. But there is a way of doing action without incurring the result of it. How remove that I am the doer, that idea? If I am the doer, then I am affected by the results. But this is the sadhana or practice. Remove the idea that I am the doer. Then you are free from the results. Simple, isn't it? What, Deepak? Simple, because I really am not the doer. The body is doing the actions. I am not the doer at all. So, thus you do not generate karma for you. And do not be by mate sangostu karmani. Do not be lazy, lethargic, intolerant person. That is not at all becoming spiritual. So, this is how the idea is to be practical, not divorced from theory, but what we understand in theory has to be implemented in our day-to-day practice. That is the whole message here. And second chapter gives it to us, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You won't find it so powerfully presented anywhere else. In the same one chapter, the most sublime theory and most intense practice both have been beautifully coupled and presented for our understanding and implementation. So we shall stop here, unless you have some questions. Oh, you have a question? What happened today?
Oh, you mean what happened today? I have a question today.
Yeah, but generally you don't ask questions.
So that means don't ask a question?
No, you can ask.
No, when you were talking, Swami, during the first part, that you were saying, well, but that's very simple. I mean, I agree with the fact that there is no other way to make changes. I agree. But it's not so simple, because our behavior patterns are based on experiences that we have had, and we have the samskaras too. So it's really not simple, it's hard work.
It is very simple if
you do the hard work.
If you start doing it, then it becomes easy. Because as you work, what happens is your expertise gets built up. Like this Abhijit says, that he took a long time to do some simple, hanging a curtain on a window. So was it difficult? In a way, yes and no, because he didn't know how to do what particular parts are needed, what other hardware is needed. So it took him a whole day. But he said, and next time if I do it will be simple because now I know. So initially to start the work, it will take time, it is. But then it will be all very easy. Progressively it becomes easier. What happens with many of us is, we keep on, noting there are sanskaras of my previous life, then sanskaras of that previous to that previous life, then sanskara of another this thing. Then in this life I have done so many problems. Then not only the situations, they keep on impacting me. So it is so difficult. How the psychology works there is, it is so difficult, so I will not attempt it at all. Does it make it easy?
But attempting it, you have to still do hard work.
Attempt is hard because of the resistance to do it. It is the resistance to do it makes it hard. Otherwise it is not hard, just simple. But one is accustomed to do things in a way that is, if you are accustomed to put something on here on the table, now it is creating problem and it should be kept elsewhere. It becomes difficult because the habit is there to put it here.
The habits have a big factor, that is true.
So, and how they go away?
With hard work.
No, it is the determination. I will not get caught in them. And that determination is, if you give a wrong signal, you understand these things better than most. If you give a wrong signal, it is very difficult. Probably in this life I will not be able to do it. Maybe next life I will begin. It is never going to begin at all. So start now and it will become easy. I guarantee you that it will become easier tomorrow, still easier day after tomorrow. If you say no, till it becomes very easy, I will not. That is how, the swimming is, very difficult. Unless I learn swimming very well, I am not going to get into water. What will happen? Never will get into water, never will learn swimming. So it's like that. Yes, Deepak?
Maharaj, I have a related question actually. A related question to what Teresa said. For example, when things happen to you, if you have time to think about it, you rationalize everything, then the knowledge that we get from the books and everything from the scripture, you can implement that stuff.
Yeah.
But in real life, we are all reacting to things. And that's where the instinct comes in. Instinct is basically our prarabdha kind of stuff, all the things. How do you basically take the reaction time, slow it down, so that we can have time to think, rationalize, and then act accordingly? That's the real challenge I see as an issue. Because we are always reacting.
Correct, it is the reaction should be of a different type. We were discussing, in the car that Newton's third law of motion, action is immediately what comes out is the equal and opposite reaction. Now one teacher teaching physics, he was that non-violence advocate, Gandhian of non-violence and like that. So students were very curious as to how he will tell now this, teach this law. Action will have an equal and opposite reaction. So he gave exactly similar example as the students thought. If there is somebody is acting violently, how should your action be? Equal and opposite in nature. Means it should be non-violent. So that is how our reactions should be according to that. If not, then there is no end to it. So therefore, when we see that the situation like cold is affecting us, okay, build a system to protect you from the cold. Go and fight the cold with fist. It is not going to reduce the cold. So that is how my likes and dislikes are affecting me. Okay, tell it to yourself, I will not get affected by that. They are likes and dislikes. They come and go. They are not important. If you give too much importance to it, it becomes too big in life. If you start telling, it is very difficult, this Swami, that fellow doesn't understand. Okay, yes. But if by telling yourself that it is too difficult, you are shooting on your own foot, you see. Say that, yes, so many people have done it. Why can I not? I can also do it. That should be the outlook. I can also do it when Vivekananda could do it. Why can I not? I also have two legs like him. I also have a nose like him. I also have a mouth like him. Talks a little too much, that's okay. But it is, what do I lack? Nothing. So I can do like him. Got it, Chris? Yeah. If you start digging out difficulties from, then it will be a big, unsurmountable heap of difficulties by definition. That is how we settle our own chances of success. When we ourselves are scuttling them, what can be done, So I should not need to tell you, you are a psychologist, the importance of positive thinking. Yeah, exactly. Too difficult, Oh, too difficult today, it will be better tomorrow when you work at it. If it is, if with many, especially with younger people, when I know that they can easily eat it, that it is when something is put on their plate, come on, eat. So much I cannot eat it. Please reduce some. I told, be self-reliant. Why you want to reduce somebody to reduce? The practical way will be, start eating and you will see that it is getting reduced. So it is, do it yourself. Difficult, okay, start. It is done. I was telling our university chaplain a very interesting conversation. It is like organizing our say office or room, our house. When it becomes, too many things strewn around and all that, you feel, it's going to take such a long time. I don't have so much time now. Let it be. Tomorrow I will do it. Or day after tomorrow I will think about it. Now such a time doesn't come, and then the problem goes on increasing. your mind becomes more and more depressed when you see it. So she told me a wonderful, wise message. See, what I do is, okay, I have got 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I can organize this. Begin it, and then you soon realize that it doesn't take that long that you were imagining. Doing and not just psychologically making the non-existent difficulties big. Let not that be the way. Work and you will see the path ahead. Yes, Vinay, you had some question or comment?
Oh no, I was just going to talk about ability. Like it reminds me of like driving a car or riding a bicycle. You have to practice.
Yeah.
It's all about practice and just
practice. Exactly.
You have to like exercise.
Exactly, practice. It's a very simple thing. Practice. Yes, Sandhya.
Try, but then other factors come in, and then all of a sudden, like,
Let
you
them
take
come.
one step forward, then people come, and then it's like 2 steps back.
No. Let people come. That is, all those things are taken for granted. That can you say that people would never come? I will not see any people, or other difficulties will not come. In spite of all that, one has to continue the work. People come does it mean that you don't take food that day? You take food. In fact, distribute to them also. So similarly, if people come, still we should continue with our practice. It is, then one moves forward. It is, let us not make big of all these difficulties. We dwell on the difficulties, then they become big bogies. But if you say, let me work on them, then what will happen, Raj? And try, if it doesn't happen, then money back guarantee.
Now that's 2 questions.
Question on the web.
There are 2 questions. First from Charles Fieldman. I believe that I did things when I was younger that were misunderstood by people. It hurts to think of this now. How can I not be affected by this?
Tell yourself that this is just what people say. Is just your eardrum is moving, that's all, there is that eardrum, it is making some movement. I don't have to take all that seriously. It is just the eardrum that is making some silly movement, that's all. You won't get affected by that. If you want to get affected, it is a different thing. But it is your choice whether to get affected or not to get affected.
Second question from GP Krishnamurthy. We are told we need to put a fence around ourselves while we are still a sapling in this spiritual path. But here it's talking about bearing everything with equanimity. So is it okay to steer clear of situations that still affect us, or keep putting ourselves in such a situations? Thank you, Maharaj. Sashtang Pranam.
Well, if you can stay clear of the situation, that is fine, You do not have to invite difficulties deliberately. But if they come, be prepared for it. It is good if all these difficulties can be just avoided. Like this, why one becomes a monk, a Swami, to steer away from all these difficulties. So monastic life is in a way very simple, that you steer clear of many of these difficulties. But if you are not getting rid of those difficulties, then deal with it. In any case, you have to be strong. It is, don't keep on worrying or cursing yourself. Oh, I did not become a monastic. That would have been so good. That is again wastage of energy. Okay, you have not become. So now on this path, what best you can do that. It is not that everybody has to become monastic. If you become, fine. If you don't become, but there is different way to deal with this. So deal with the situations accordingly. In every case, the attention should be there to see that you hold on to God despite the difficulties. No difficulty really prevents you from holding on to God. Unless you don't want to hold on to God, and then nobody can help you, no? That it is impossible to help anybody if there are fire preventing those things can be given. But if the house owner himself wants to put fire to the house, who can save that thing? So it is like that. Okay?
Maharaj, but how come Kunti?
Oh, you were not in the class. Your question will be answered.
It's about the difficulties.
The difficulties, you don't have any difficulties. Right.
But
Yeah.
Kunti wanted difficulties.
You do not invite, do not mail order those difficulties. Yeah. Gita sugita kartavya kimanya shastra vistarai ya swayam padmanavasya mukha padmatpi nisrita ekam shastram devaki putra geetam eko devo devaki putra eva eko mantrah tasya namani yani कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. So in November, we can meet either on, say, 12th or 19th. 12th is fine. If 19th, then I will have to get consent from Sarvapriyananda, because he will be in Providence then. And so I can see if he is open to come here on that Sunday morning. So instead
19th.
of 19th.
And if that does not work then?
Then 12th.
Okay.
12th is just Yogatmananda, he always is free, you know. So,
The 12th is preferred.
12th
is preferred. You prefer 12th?
It is, I have not contacted Sarvapriyananda. I will contact him today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we'll let you know.
That would be great.
Okay. Yeah. I should have done it before coming to here today, but laziness took over, that is why I was talking about one should not be lazy. If one is lazy, then it becomes so difficult. Hari Om.